when you write these stories, you gotta use a little imagination, boy.
Imagination.
Yeah! Maybe instead of man watches pole, you could say something like, oh, man marries pole.
We talk a ton about SpongeBob season 1, 2, and 3, or seasons like 11, 12, and 13 on this channel all the time. But let's go smack dab right into the middle with season 6, the episode being the Krabby Chronicle, an episode all about a Krusty Krab newspaper. It's wild. What we're really here to talk about though, guys, is what you guys clicked on the video for are the spicy mistakes in this episode. Roll the footage and let's see if you guys can spot it.
Well, gee, Mr. Krabs, I've written about everyone in town. Any ideas, sir?
Surprise me. Give me a shocker.
Oh, the wildest story ever, huh?
How's it going, lad?
It's a surprise!
Did ya catch it? Well, after Mr. Krabs leaves his office for the night and SpongeBob begins typing on the press, take a look at Mr. Krabs' office door, okay? It's right behind SpongeBob. This is important. It's right there. You can see it. It's right there. But in the very next shot, where is it? Where did the door go? Did like Mr. Krabs have renovations in a matter of like 30 seconds? I don't think so. I think the animators drew the door, as you can see here. But then in this scene, they forgot to draw it. And just like, how do you even do that? But anyways, here's another mistake.
What a money-tastical day, eh, Mr. Squidward?
Yeah, I'm just raking it in.
I'm excited about all the newspaper sales, too.
This next mistake is very similar to the last one, as when Mr. Krabs is walking up to the Krusty Krab, take a look at this poster of a Krabby Patty on the window. It looks delicious. I would love a Krabby Patty, but more importantly, the poster, remember that this poster is right here. As when Mr. Krabs eventually enters the Krusty Krab, the poster that we just seen is just gone now. It's vanished. It just, it doesn't exist anymore, which is another continuity error, guys. You know, continuity errors aren't that bad, I'll admit, but they're still a mistake, and guys, we've got more mistakes coming up. Let's keep it moving.
Don't have time to wait in line. Sorry, but I can't be late today.
Ooh, what the?
Hey!
Sorry, everyone, but Mr. Krabs needs me. Reporting for duty, sir.
First up is going to be Truth or Square, which is quite literally almost a SpongeBob movie. This episode is almost over an hour long, but it's only really considered to be a special, a TV special. Now, it's a good one. It has a lot of good moments, but it also has tons of mistakes, so let's dive into the first one. Take a look at this.
There it is. SpongeBob's house.
Well, hello. Are you okay, mister?
Did you guys catch it? It's pretty blatant. But when SpongeBob says, "Are you okay?" in Patchy's dream, the right side of this dude's pants is just transparent. It's entirely see-through, dude. Like, what? This one is a pretty bad mistake, guys. Like, the animators completely forgot to color in this part of his pants, which is ridiculous. But hold up, guys, there's more. Here's another mistake. Let's see if you guys can catch this one.
There it is. I'm coming for you, SquarePants.
I'm ready. It's ready. Ready.
Go to work. Oh, you little scalawag. Just having some technical difficulties. Okay. Those knees.
Now, as any hardcore SpongeBob fan knows, a big part of these specials is Patchy the Pirate. I love this dude, which, fun fact, Patchy the Pirate is actually Tom Kenny, who is the voice actor of SpongeBob. Very interesting. But anyways, this next mistake has to do with Patchy, as when he's shaking around in the whale, take a look at this, his hand gets slightly cut off. It looks kind of rough, but this one isn't that big of a deal. This next mistake though, this one you guys don't want to miss. Roll the footage.
Oh, Krusty Krab, oh, Krusty Krab. Oh, how I love you, Krusty Krab. Oh, Krusty Krab, You've always been there for me. When I'm tired and hungry, I just reach out my hand, and there you are. Are you with me, people? Yeah! In that case, let's get some Krabby Patty!
Alright, so take a look at this. When SpongeBob sings "Oh Krusty Krab," look over here. We can see the path to the chum bucket. It's right there, right? We can see it. The path is right there. But during this scene near the end, where did it go? The path is just gone now. First it was there during this scene where SpongeBob sings, but then near the ending of the episode, it's just gone. Almost as if the animators forgot about the path in this last scene, which is totally a mistake. And guess what, guys? Here's another one from this special. Truth or Square has a lot of mistakes.
Remember the day Sandy and I got married?
What?
No.
I'm freaking out!
SpongeBob, do you take Sandy as your lawfully wedded wife?
I do.
And Sandy, do you take SpongeBob as your lawfully wedded husband?
And how?
Well then, I now pronounce you Sponge and Squirrel.
You stink! Worst play I've ever seen!
So for this one to really make sense, let's take a look at a general shot of Sandy Cheeks over here, our favorite squirrel. So as you can see, there's this patch of tan fur on her torso. And as you can also see, it normally extends to above her chest, all right? It looks like this tan fur right here. But if we take a look at Sandy in her wedding dress in this scene, the way that her fur looks is just different. The patch of tan fur on her torso just doesn't extend this time. Like, look, here's a side-by-side and I'm circling the areas and you guys can kind of see the mistake here. Not that big of a deal, but let's head over to another special, guys, with even worse mistakes. These mistakes coming up are bad. Our first mistake can be found in the very new season 13 episode, Say Ah. This episode only came out a few days ago, so it's completely new. But yeah, in this episode, Plankton notices that instead of fearing him, most Bikini Bottomites just think that he's cute and harmless. And as you can imagine, this really gets on Plankton's nerves. Now the mistake in question has to do with both the Chum Bucket and the Krusty Krab. As most of you know, the Chum Bucket and Krusty Krab are directly across from one another, and there is also a path running between them. Now, earlier in this episode, we get a clear shot of this path right here. As you can see, it's there. But for some reason during this scene later on, the locations have completely changed, with the Krusty Krab not being directly in front of the Chum Bucket and being much farther than it's supposed to be. There's like an entire path in between them now. But yeah, definitely a mistake. Here's a clip.
You're a bootukus.
When Mr. Krabs begins to think that he's overpaying SpongeBob, paying him too much money in the episode SpongeBob You're Fired, SpongeBob, well, you guessed it, gets fired. Fortunately, he ends up finding a new job at Weenie Hut, a hot dog establishment. At first, things are pretty darn rough for SpongeBob, with him even being fired at his new job. But don't worry, in the end, SpongeBob goes back to where he belongs, the Krusty Krab. Now, I hate to be that guy, but at one point of the episode, SpongeBob claims to not know what a hot dog is. However, this is a blatant writing error, as if we go back to the season 1 episode Walking Small, SpongeBob literally steals hot dogs from Bikini Bottom residents and even eats them. So yeah, this was some poor continuity. Here's both clips.
There's something not quite right about this food, but I'm not sure what it is. Aha! Well, not all of me. Hot dogs! Hot dogs!
Look at that huge line at the hot dog stand.
I'll do better than that.
Let's go home.
When Patrick, finds himself appointed as the new king of Bikini Bottom. In the appropriately titled episode, Rule of Dumb, he completely abuses his power and pushes all of his friends away, including SpongeBob. Now in the end, Patrick realizes that he's become a monster, and eventually decides to return the crown. It's a solid episode, and the mirror scene with Patrick is awesome. But if we rewind to an earlier point of the episode, we can find a little slip up. When Patrick gets kicked out of the Krusty Krab due to not paying for his meals, the Krusty Krab sign is awkwardly missing. I guess the art team was feeling a little lazy that day. Here's a clip.
That is correct. Anything you want, and it's all free.
All free! Nobody eats any restaurant for free! King or no king!
Are you gonna eat that?
I was planning to. Why?
I want it.
Hey! What gives you the right to take my food?
Our next mistake can be found in the episode Shell Games, a really fun episode from the show's 12th season. Now the mistake, to be honest, is very subtle, so I'm going to make this section quick, that way we can get back to the more crazy mistakes I've saved for later on in this video. They're crazy, so stay tuned. But yeah, during this zoomed out shot of Mrs. Puff, as you can see if you look closely, her lipstick is red, okay? It's red. You can see it right here. Well, in the very next shot, where we get a closer look, her lipstick has magically changed from red to pink, thus making for a subtle but interesting mistake. Again, we've got some cooler ones later, so stay tuned, but here's a clip of this one for now.
You're the best driving student I've ever had, Roger. Kudos.
Mrs. Puff! Mrs. Puff!
Roger! We have to move now! Punch it!
You're gonna work here. You'll need an official Krusty Krab hat. Say, that's a pretty neat trick. I'm gonna get some extra mayonnaise from the back.
No mayonnaise!
Okay.
Coming in hot, first up is the episode Planet of the Jellyfish, which in my opinion is an episode that isn't talked about a lot when it comes to SpongeBob. The episode's pretty good. Of course though, it has some mistakes. It has two to be exact. Here's the first one.
Whoa, look at all the customers.
One Krabby Patty, hold the mayonnaise.
Thank you. Come again. Brah! Don't you want a cute little jellyfish?
No, thanks.
You can use this jelly as a pillow.
Oh, that's okay. I have one at home.
So take a look at this dude over here, Incidental 27. As you can see, he has a tail fin. It's right here, all right? You can see it right here. Well, the mistake is that when SpongeBob first enters the Krusty Krab during this scene, Incidental 27 is missing that tail fin. It was there in this shot later on in the episode when he's seen growling at SpongeBob, he has his tail again, well, his fin tail again. Yeah, definitely a mistake here. For this one shot, it's just missing, and that's not supposed to happen. This next mistake also wasn't supposed to happen. Keep those eyes peeled, and let's see if you guys can spot it.
Look at him, the little angel. Good morning, sleepyhead. We wouldn't want anything to happen to you while I'm at work. You better stay in here where it's safe.
Did you guys catch it? Well, take a look at our favorite little snail over here, Gary. More specifically, his shell and the colors on his shell. As you can see, the shell is pink, and then there's like these purple or bluish dots on it, and then there's like this red swirl on it, right? All right, you can see it right here. Well, whoever animated this episode needs to be educated on our favorite little snail, as just before Gary is engulfed by a gelin, take a look at this dude's shell, as that's not right. The colors have been inverted. I'm gonna do a side-by-side. This is how it's supposed to look on the left. Yeah, on the right, that is a mistake. It's not supposed to look like that. Gary, you poor snail. But let's head over to another episode, guys, with more mistakes. Let's go. The episode Reef Blower is not only very short, but it's also a silent episode with no dialogue. This is the second episode of the show to air ever, and it's interesting to imagine if all episodes of the show were like this one. But anyways, let's talk about the mistake. It isn't that big of a deal, I guess, considering this is literally the second episode of the show ever, but during this scene, Squidward is shown sitting on a doorstep in front of his house. However, this doorstep doesn't actually exist. It doesn't show up in any other scenes during this episode, or any other episodes after. It just doesn't really exist except for this one shot. I guess this isn't necessarily a mistake because it's from an early episode before locations were fully established, but it's definitely weird, and the fact that it doesn't appear at all in any other scenes is kind of a mistake, so yeah. Here's a clip. Plankton is always looking for excuses or reasons for his constant failures, and the episode Plankton's Good Eye from season 8 is no exception, with his wife Karen convincing Plankton that the reason he keeps on failing is due to him only having one eye. Not a bad point, Karen, but I don't know, I don't think that's the issue. Anyways though, from here, Plankton attempts surgery to get a second eye, but quickly realizes that he will need the teardrops from someone with two eyes for it to be successful. And from here, Plankton tries to convince SpongeBob to help him. Yeah, so the plot in this episode is a little all over the place, but it isn't bad. I did find a mistake though. When Plankton tries to open Mr. Krabs' safe, he tries to pull it open from the wrong side. So even if he knew the combination, he could not have gotten it open anyways. We know this because seconds prior, we see Mr. Krabs open it from the correct side. So yeah, here's a clip.
Sleep tight, me little angels.
$35 left, 25 right, and finally 4 left. Open says me. Hey, what gives? I was looking right at the combination. Why isn't it opening?
What time is it?
It is 1 minute to midnight. But that's when the fisherman comes out!
Come on, Patrick, we gotta get home.
Next up is the episode Don't Look Now, and you know, instead of explaining the plot for this one, it's a little complicated. I'm gonna just show clips to kind of summarize it. Here, take a look, it's a pretty good one.
Hi, Squidward. Bet you can't guess what movie we're gonna see. Patrick and I are gonna see Fisherman 4.
You two won't sleep a wink tonight if you see that movie.
Oh, this isn't too scary. The Fisherman's Hook! Get off the teeter-totter!
Good night! And just don't think about the fisherman!
No, I will not think about the fisherman. Sleep tight!
They want a fisherman, eh? Oh, give him a fisherman. Aha! It's time for those lame brains to meet the real fisherman.
Okay, it's mistake time, guys. It's mistake time. Let's see if you guys can catch mistake number 1.
The fisherman! We made it. The fisherman!
What are you blockheads up to?
We can't get home!
We're too scared. Oh, thank you, Squidward. You are a true friend.
I told those muttonheads not to see that movie.
Patrick! Are you okay?
Yeah! Are you okay?
I think so!
So take a look at this shot of SpongeBob's iconic pineapple home from the first season. I'm kind of hungry now, I know I always say that, but I love pineapple. But anyways, take a look at it. As you can see, there is a chimney, and it's always really been there on SpongeBob's house, like in numerous other seasons. But in Don't Look Now, during this one scene, the chimney's just not there. The animators just forgot about the chimney. Not that big of a deal, but that's a pretty bad mistake. And we have another one from this episode. I feel like you guys can spot this one. so keep those eyes peeled.
We're not afraid of any old movie.
Take your seats.
Yeah! Seats taken, sir. Ooh, the movie's starting.
So when SpongeBob and Patrick are about to sit down in their seats for the very first time, there is one crowd of fish. And take a good look at this crowd of fish, specifically the fish in the crowd. As when SpongeBob and Patrick sit down and we get a wide shot, most of the people in the original crowd have either changed places, which isn't that big of a deal, but what the real mistake is that they're replaced. Some of them are replaced with completely different incidentals. And remember guys, this all happens in a matter of like seconds, so this was definitely a mistake. The animators at first drew the crowd like this, but then they just drew it like this for some reason. I don't know. Let's keep it rolling though, guys. I have one more episode for you guys today that is pretty rough when it comes to mistakes. Let's keep it moving. The episode, Captain Pipsqueak, has become quite the fan favorite, with it featuring a bunch of cameos from characters we've seen in previous seasons. Plus, it also has a really good plot, with Plankton teaming up with a bunch of other supervillains to finally achieve his Krabby Patty goals. Now, this episode admittedly does not have too many mistakes, but of course, you know me, you know Cartoon Corey, I was able to find one. As you can see, throughout the episode, Plankton gets his own villain costume, equipped with a purple cape, a purple helmet, and more importantly, purple gloves. Now during this scene, where we see Plankton do a little dumpster diving while in his villain outfit, he can be seen wearing his gloves. However, for one brief shot when he jumps out of the dumpster, his gloves are missing. They just randomly disappear.
Where's the door?
Our next mistake can be found in the Season 12 special, SpongeBob's Big Birthday Blowout. Now, this episode is awesome, and pretty much serves as a homage to the show's history, and features tons of Easter eggs and returning characters. However, we're here for mistakes. I mean, it's in the title of the video, so yeah, let's talk about two sneaky mistakes. It's easy to miss, but during this wholesome shot of Mr. Krabs dancing with his daughter Pearl, the P normally found on Pearl's shirt is incorrectly colored as white, when, I mean, as you can see in this image of Pearl, it's supposed to be purple. It's always been purple, so it being white in this scene is definitely a mistake. Another mistake can also be found after the opening credits. Now this one really is not that big of a deal, it's not a big deal, but we see a bubble transition, right? Which is technically a mistake as the episode starts on land, it's not underwater. We commonly only see this bubble transition when we're underwater, so the fact that they're on land and we get it is kind of a mistake. Again, not a huge mistake, but I've got plenty of crazier mistakes later on in the video, so stay tuned. For now though, here's some clips. In the episode, Copy Bob Ditto Pants, Plankton comes up with a new scheme. He makes an identical clone of SpongeBob, of course to steal the Krabby Patty secret formula. But this doesn't go very well when SpongeBob, being the friendly sponge that he is, befriends the clone, thus ruining Plankton's scheme without even trying. Now there are a few mistakes in this episode, but the worst one takes place during this scene and has to do with Plankton's computer wife, Karen. It's easy to miss, but the location of Karen's wheels actually change throughout the episode. In some shots, they are beneath the lower platform, while in other shots, they also appear outside the lower platform. Not a big deal, but it's a weird inconsistency I noticed. Here's a clip.
More fruit punch, SpongeBob?
You know, Plankton, when you invited me over, I thought it was another trick to get the Krabby Patty formula. Now I see you just love social gatherings in the workplace. Whoa!
Sponge Copy. We don't put dirty, nasty things in our mouth. Spit it out.
Our next mistake can be found in another extremely new episode from season 13, titled Patrick the Mailman. This episode is simple. Patrick accidentally crushes the mailman, so he and SpongeBob have to take matters into their own hands and decide to deliver the mail around Bikini Bottom themselves. This episode has a great plot and is really funny, so I recommend going and watching it when you get a chance. But there is a mistake that I know you'll miss. Squidward's house is directly to the left of SpongeBob's house, right? It's been like that since the very first season. Well, why is it missing during this scene of Patrick the Mailman? Yeah, talk about an obvious mistake. It should be right beside SpongeBob's house. We can't even see Patrick's house either, so again, another very obvious mistake. Here's a clip.
You know where this SpongeBob lives?
Never heard of him.
Oh well, return to sender.
Hey, what's with the new threads?
I'm a mailman now!
Wow! I've always wanted to be a mailman. It's like getting to be Santa every day.
In the episode Arg, SpongeBob, Patrick, and Mr. Krabs play a board game based on the legend of the Flying Dutchman, which involves an in-game treasure hunt. Well, Mr. Krabs takes things a little too seriously and decides to go on a real treasure hunt. And during the expedition, SpongeBob and Patrick actually find the treasure, despite it not seeming to be real, but Mr. Krabs says that all of the treasure belongs to him, due to him being a cheapskate. As you can imagine, this causes some conflict, but fortunately by the end of the episode, the Flying Dutchman comes to save the day, and gives SpongeBob and Patrick some golden doubloons. It's very funny. On to the mistake though. During this scene where SpongeBob finds Mr. Krabs at his house, it may look as if Mr. Krabs is sitting on the chair, but look closely and you'll notice that he's actually just floating behind it. We know this as you can see his other red leg behind the chair. Take a look at his legs. It's a really funny mistake. Here's a clip with audio. The episode, Pearl Wants to Be a Star, is a great episode. That's all about Pearl. Our favorite little whale wants to go onto the Patrick Star Show and do a little performance for everybody. But no matter how hard she tries, something always messes it up. As the title suggests, Pearl just wants to be a star. So she keeps on trying, and fortunately by the end of the episode, she finally puts on an incredible show. Now I love episodes that focus on characters other than SpongeBob, Squidward, Patrick, and Sandy, so I really enjoyed this one. What I didn't really enjoy though was this mistake. During one of Pearl's performances, as she turns, she loses her entire pupil, and boy does it look really weird. It actually looks kinda creepy. Yeah, here's a clip.
Yeah.
Oh no! I'm losing them again! Better kick it up a notch!
And last but not least, our final mistake can be found in the very first episode of Season 8. Accidents will happen. In this episode, Squidward has a nasty fall and gets himself injured at work. But this results in Mr. Krabs becoming incredibly paranoid that Squidward is going to sue him. So he starts treating Squidward very different. He starts acting nice and treating Squidward like an actual human being and not just a cashier like he normally does. Now during this scene, where Squidward is seen with the Krabby Patty, the Krusty Krab menu is incorrectly spelled as G-A-L-L-Y, grub, when it's actually supposed to be spelled as G-A-L-L-E-Y, grub. Also, when the camera returns to Squidward's face and body, both the menu and order here signs are just gone. They've disappeared.
I was at the register, giving it a nice shining between orders, when something caught my eye. A patty bun with 10 seeds instead of 11. I wasn't about to stand idly by and allow a customer to go without all his guaranteed nutrients and vitamins.
The episode, I Was a Teenage Gary, is yet another creepy and disturbing episode. I mean, yeah, this show is for kids, but this episode had some really weird scenes that us 90s and 2000s kids will never forget. For example, the scene where SpongeBob literally transforms into a snail against his will. It's pretty weird, it's pretty creepy. The episode's ending is also pretty grim, with both SpongeBob and Squidward being trapped as snails. But what's even more spooky is this mistake. I know you missed it. This one is pretty complicated, so seriously, listen closely, as there is an error in this episode revolving around Gary's colors. As you can see, Gary's body is blue, with a little bit of green at the bottom. Ignore his shell, as I'm only talking about his actual body. Like I said, it's supposed to be blue. But during this one shot, it seems his colors got reversed, as Gary is green, and boy does it look really weird.
What kind of resort is this? Where's the entertainment?
Oh, well, you are absolutely right, sir. Presenting the SpongeBob Follies! What the hey?
Boring.
This next one is spicy, and it takes place in a very underrated episode, that being Patrick's Staycation. I feel like nobody really talks about this episode, and while it isn't the best episode, it does have some really good moments, just like this. Take a look.
Welcome to Star Rock Inn, sir. My name is Todd. Can I check you in?
I don't know, can you?
Oh, yes. Star. Patrick Star, room 801. Your key, sir. May I take your bags, Mr. Star?
Oh, I don't have any
Follow me, sir. Your room is right this way.
Oh, dear.
Something wrong, Mr. Star?
I'm not sure I like the way this room is arranged.
Arranged? 1 hour later. Mr. Star, are you sure about this?
You know, maybe it's the walls.
It's an interesting episode, right? Now, let's dive into the mistakes, what you guys have been waiting for, what you guys clicked on the video for. Here is mistake number 1.
One Krabby Patty coming up.
You are smoking.
Oh, it was nothing.
No, you're really smoking.
What? Oh, no, the Krabby Patty. Mr. Star, your meal is ready. Patrick, where is he?
So I'll admit, this mistake is a bit of a nitpick on my end. It isn't that big of a deal. But when SpongeBob gets out of the burned Krabby Patty, his chef suit had no sleeves. Seems harmless, right? Well, this is kind of a mistake, as in every other shot of this episode when SpongeBob is wearing his fresh chef suit over here, it has sleeves. It always has sleeves, but in this one shot, the sleeves are just missing. I mean, like I said, not that big of a deal, but somewhat of a mistake here. This next one though, trust me, this one is spicy.
Oh, Patrick! Patrick, what have you done to yourself?
I've been waking up, eating, sleeping, waking up. I need a break from the hustle and bustle of my everyday life. It's so exhausting. Please help me.
Pal, what you need is a vacation.
That's it!
Did you guys catch it? Well, when SpongeBob says, Pat, what you need is a vacation, take a look at our favorite Sponge's eyes, as one of his blue eyes turn white for an entire split second. Normally, SpongeBob looks like this and has these beautiful deep blue eyes. He's so handsome. But for this one shot for just about a second, SpongeBob's eyes are tweaking, dude. It's just white. I don't think somebody's eye would just be entirely white. That's not how it works.
Sorry, not better. Oh, I know. Here. Just use a little tape and there you go, good as new. Well, that's all right, because we'll find a new show for ya.
Okay, let's talk about SpongeBob Season 6. It's not the best season, but as I've said before, it also has a ton of good episodes. One of those episodes is Shell Shocked. Unfortunately, though, I have to, bear some bad news and ruin some childhoods, as this episode has 2 mistakes. Here's the first one, Grapple Gang. Let's see if you guys can spot it before I reveal the mistake, all right? Take a look.
Mr. Krabs, perhaps you could help me find a new shell for Gary.
Well, I'd be honored to help you and your sniveling snail during such desperate times. Now, how much you got?
Nothing, Mr. Krabs. I'm broke.
Oh, I see.
But wait, Mr. Krabs!
Did you guys catch it? As this one is blatant. Like, I don't know how the art team missed this one. How they could, like, render and finalize this episode with this mistake in it. Cause it's bad, man. But yeah, when Mr. Krabs says, "Oh, I see," during this scene, let's take a look at his arm, as one of his red arms is not very red right now. As a matter of fact, it's transparent because the animators forgot to color in his arm. Look, older episodes get a little bit of an excuse, but this is season 6, which is still kind of old, so. But still, this shouldn't be happening, man. Like, I'm zooming in on this. That is rough. And that's not it for this episode. There's another one that's pretty bad too. Take a look at this.
Okay, you're right, it's not a shell. Oh! Greetings, Earthling. I am SpongeBob. I come from the future.
This is another very blatant one. So when SpongeBob puts on the space helmet, let's watch it in slow motion. As if we look closely, SpongeBob's arms actually go through the space helmet as he's putting it on. Yeah, I'm gonna freeze right here and you can see it, like his arms are just going through it. So yeah, another rough mistake for this episode. It's a good episode, shell-shocked, but boy are the mistakes bad. Not as bad as this next episode. Let's head over to this next episode. Let's do it.
Here you are, your new home. Oh, Smelly, this is gonna be great. We'll be one big happy family.
So let's head back to season 4 for this one. I personally do not like season 4. Like, aside from like the original Fry Cook episode and the one where it's like Plankton and Mr. Krabs' origin story, aside from those 2 episodes, I hate this season. But the episode is the thing from season 4. And we're only gonna cover one mistake, and let's make it quick. It's still pretty spicy though. Roll the footage.
They wouldn't know real culture even if it hit them like a truck full of cement.
So for this one, guys, I really need you to listen closely as it's kind of complicated. So I want you to look at this scene, look at the background, all right? Before Squidward hits the cement truck, as you can see, the environment is a street, all right? They're on a street. It's right here, you can see it. But after Squidward hits the cement truck and rolls down covered in cement, poor Squidward, dude, like imagine getting covered in cement. Look at the scene now as it changed from that street to like a grassy field. Like this is really weird. I'm gonna show a side-by-side of how the background look, and this all happened in a matter of like 30 seconds, so totally a mistake here. The environment and background of a scene doesn't just change randomly. The animators just messed up. And we're gonna keep it going. Here's another episode, guys, with more mistakes.
Attention zoo patrons! Clamu the giant oyster is on an emotional rampage. Please scream and run around in circles. Thanks for coming.
Here's another season 2 banger, The Smoking Peanut. This episode is actually a little more underrated in terms of season 2. Like, people like this episode, but I feel it gets overshadowed by all of the other bangers in season 2. Of course, though, just like that last episode, I gotta ruin some childhoods here because there's mistakes in this episode. Roll the footage.
Hey, Patrick, what are you doing?
Oh, hi, SpongeBob. I'm just continuing my investigation of the Great Clamu Caper.
Have you found out anything?
Yes! No, wait. No. Don't worry, SpongeBob! Patrick's on the case! The truth will be revealed!
I'd better go see Sandy. She'll know what to do.
Can't stand it anymore. That poor critter.
So you need to pay close attention, and you guys need to listen closely for this one. So, while SpongeBob is running to Sandy's tree dome saying, "I'll ask Sandy, she'll know what to do," the typical SpongeBob bubble transition starts, but if we look at the bottom, we can see this weird blue card that says Rough Draft Korea on it, which might be confusing to you guys, but this is a mistake. Back in the day, Rough Draft Korea is the company that would animate all all of the episodes of SpongeBob. It would be written and the storyboards and everything would be done in North America, but then it would be sent to Rough Draft Korea to do the final edit and animate everything. So yeah, this text in blue screen at the bottom was a mistake by Rough Draft Korea during that transition between different scenes. So if you understand animation, I'm over explaining this and you already get it. So yeah, here's another mistake from the episode though.
The Bikini Bottom Zoo is having its annual flea day. Flea balloons, flea drinks, flea light bulbs.
Let's book him!
Wow, you guys are good. I'm the last person I would have suspected.
Yeah, tell it to the judge, Pinky.
Oh no! Patrick's too sensitive for the big house! Wait! Stop! I'm the one you want!
So for this one to make sense, I need to show you footage from earlier on in the episode. So as you can see in this shot right here, Oyster Stadium is like a walled-in zoo with like big walls and everything, all right? But if this is the case, then how can SpongeBob still see the stadium top to bottom clearly from his house during this scene? It's not that big of a deal, but that's a mistake. Like SpongeBob would not be able to see that good of a vision of the stadium from his home. He'd be able to see it, but it's walled in. He wouldn't be able to see inside it like that. So totally a mistake and kind of a funny one. Let's keep it moving though, guys. Lots of unbelievable mistakes coming up, so stay tuned, especially this next one.
Hey, Mr. Krabs, what's the good word?
Well, actually, SpongeBob, there's 2 words. And they're not very good. You're fired.
What?
Let's head over to season 9 for this next one. The episode is SpongeBob You're Fired, an episode all about, well, SpongeBob getting fired. He gets canned, bro, and has to go and work at all of these different fast food restaurants. Like, I'm gonna get into the mistake really quickly, but also real quick, here's a little highlight of all of the different places he works at. I'll make it really quick and then we're getting right to the mistakes.
What in the name of Davy Jones's gym shorts are these?
They're weenie patties.
What have you done? You turned an innocent pizza into a pizza patty.
It's some sort of burrito patty.
And take your noodle patty with you!
Yeah, SpongeBob gets around in this episode, and now I'm just hungry. Like, all of these different places, like a hot dog place, I'm hungry. But anyways, what I'm also hungry for are these mistakes. Here's the first one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here I am wallowing in my misery, and it's past your dinner time. Sorry, Gary, you must be starving. Don't worry, Gare Bear. I'll open up a can of snail po for you. Oh no, we're all out of snail po.
This is another complicated one where you guys gotta pay close attention. So when SpongeBob goes into the cupboard to get some snail food for Gary the first time, if one looks closely, one can see that there are multiple cans inside right here. Look at all of those cans of food. Gary's fed for weeks, but we have a continuity error as when the scene progresses and when SpongeBob says, I'll open up a can of snail po for you, well, opening the same cupboard, now it's empty. And I highly doubt that SpongeBob just fed all of these cans. I'm showing it on screen, the original shot of the cupboard. All of these cans of food, I highly doubt he fed all of them to Gary in a matter of seconds. So this was a continuity error. First, there were a ton of cans, as you can see, and then the shelf is just empty. Like, what? Weird mistake, and here's another one.
It just won't be the same around here without you. You'll have to visit sometime as a customer. Bye-bye now. Sayonara. Good riddance.
This one's not that big of a deal, but I noticed it while watching through the episode. So, when SpongeBob is forced out of the Krusty Krab by Squidward, if we look inside, there are no tables at all. When just take a look at this random clip from the Krusty Krab from another episode, there's always tables inside the restaurant. So it's very weird that in this one scene when Squidward's kicking SpongeBob out, that there's no tables, which is most likely a mistake. And guys, it doesn't end here. I've got another episode, and this is where things are gonna get wild. Animators should have gotten fired for these upcoming mistakes, okay? It's rough.
And what's up with that squirrel fur? I guess fleas need a home too, huh?
squirrel fur!
This next one is going to be a ton of fun, especially for all of the old people watching this, as we're gonna go back to Squirrel Jokes, a season 2 episode, and boy, oh boy, is this one a banger. Like seriously, this episode's so good. I hate to break it to you guys, I'm gonna have to ruin some childhoods as this one has a mistake. It actually has 3, so let's dive right in. Here's the first one.
Hey, look, guys! It's the stupid squirrel! I know, let's try and communicate with it. Duh.
We're gonna start light, okay? This first one is bad in Squirrel Jokes, but the other 2 in this one are really, really bad. Like, animators got fired because of this episode. Anyways, though, the first one, when Sandy's in the grocery store and 3 fish start making fun of her, these guys are bullies. Let's take a look at Lloyd over here and watch him in slow motion, as his lips flicker orange for 1 frame. Normally, his lips look like this. This is the color of his lips, but in this 1 frame, their lips are like orange, which is incorrect. Your lips don't just randomly change color, guys. Here's a before and after, totally a mistake. Like I said though, we're starting light. Let's head over to the next mistake in Squirrel Jokes, which is really, really bad.
That's true. Crabs? Oh, brother. They're so cheap, they can't even pay attention.
It's true! I am cheap!
Yeah, so when SpongeBob talks about Mr. Krabs in his stand-up during the talent show, if we head over to Mr. Krabs and we freeze at the right frame, our favorite crab over here has no legs. Like, the animators actually drew Mr. Krabs in this shot, in this scene, with no legs. To be fair, this is a season 2 episode, so it's like over 20 years old, but damn, like, no legs is a really bad mess up, guys. Like, I told you this one was bad, I wasn't lying. And there's another one that's also pretty rough in Squirrel Jokes. Take a look at this mistake.
But seriously, folks, I want to give a special thanks to my friend Sandy.
Did you guys catch it? Well, when the spotlight is put on Sandy after SpongeBob says, I want to give a special thanks to my friend Sandy, let's take a look at Incidental 11 over here, as his fin, well, part of his fin is missing. Normally, Incidental 11 looks like this. Here's an image of him from the SpongeBob wiki, and as you can see, this is how his fin looks. But in this one scene from Squirrel Jokes, like a piece or part of his fin is missing right here. I'm zooming in, and it's not that big of a deal, but if you're a big SpongeBob fan, it is totally a mistake. And let's keep it moving to another episode, guys, with an even crazier mistake. And I'm serious, this one's rough.
So, how big's this thing supposed to get?
Hey, who cares? It's an endless supply of free patties.
Are you gonna cook that thing or just stand there staring at it?
Sorry, Squidward. Coming right up. Oh my goodness!
Man, this season 8 episode is a mouthful. I'm talking about the Krabby Patty that ate Bikini Bottom. Like, what a cool episode. This episode is so good. It has lots of really cool animation. You know, season 8 is very hit or miss. I say this about a lot of the seasons, but this is a good episode in terms of season 8. And as a matter of fact, before we get into the mistake, here are some awesome scenes from this episode. There's a lot of really cool animated scenes. We'll get right into the mistakes after though, so stay tuned.
Mr. Krabs, look out!
Out of my way, you boobs!
Plankton, you're going the wrong way! Turn back or be crushed by a giant monster!
I can't hear you! I need to see this! Ooh, it's gorgeous! Oh, great Patty! Take me! Take me home, Daddy!
Snookums, look out! You've got to promise Mommy you'll be more careful! Neptune knows what she'd do if you were swallowed by the putrid ooze that's running rampant in our streets!
Lots of really cool scenes in this episode, as I said, but there's also a mistake. Let's take a look at this mistake right here.
Squidward, that giant Krabby Patty is on a rampage! We have to escape!
It's a crab avalanche!
Hold it! And just what is it you two think you're doing?
Yeah, so well in the kitchen closer to the ending of the episode, this Krabby Patty right here eats SpongeBob's left shoe and sock, alright? You can see it right here. We can even see SpongeBob's bare foot for a second. But here's the problem. When SpongeBob and Squidward try to exit the restaurant, they reappear now for no apparent reason and remain like this from the rest of the episode. Like he just randomly has his left shoe and sock back. Now, who knows? You know, SpongeBob works here. Maybe he has an extra pair of socks and shoes at work. You know, that would justify this, or maybe it's just a children's cartoon and I'm overthinking this one small little continuity error. That's probably what it is. So let's head over to another episode with a much more blatant mistake that we cannot ignore.
Aha! The library, where he keeps records of his every thought. All of his deepest, juiciest secrets.
Next up, we have the Inside Job, which I feel is a very underrated SpongeBob episode. Now, instead of explaining the plot, I'm just gonna play clips from the episode summarizing what happens, as it'll help the mistake make sense later on. So yeah, here's some funny clips from this episode summarizing it, and then we're gonna get right into its mistake after.
You want the patty recipe, then go to the man who wrote it, Eugene Krabs.
Right. Why didn't I think of that before?
With my mind connector, you'll be able to read Krabs' mind, transferring the recipe directly into your teeny tiny little brain.
Wow, that's a pretty good idea. Move it! You're mine.
Hey, where do you want this life-size cutout of you, Mr. Krabs?
No!
Hey, Squidward, we blew a fuse.
If I'm gonna get the Krabby Patty recipe, I'm gonna have to go to Command Central. Hi, friend. Why am I making idiotic comments? Superficial greetings.
See, it's underrated. I bet you want to go and watch the full episode after you're done watching this video, of course. But here's that mistake. Roll the footage.
Well, where's the recipe?
The what?
You really need to pay close attention for this one, and I'm even gonna play the footage in slow motion at one point. But when Patrick walks out of the Krusty Krab after Karen takes Plankton, if we watch closely, Patrick's animation actually freezes and like glitches out for a second, as you can see here. I'm gonna loop it and slow down the footage, and yeah, his animation just like stops and just glitches out for a frame. It's really funny. It's really weird. What's going on, man? Anyways, though, let's head over to another episode with more mistakes.
Come on, wormies, giddy up!
It's the holiday season, so let's kick things off with a snowy, frozen episode. I'm talking about Frozen Face Off from season 8. This episode is all about like a worm sledding race, which is really cool, but more importantly, it's what you guys are here for. It has some mistakes, 3 to be exact, and they're really rough. Here's the first one. Let's see if you guys can spot it.
The Chum Bucket now serving Krabby Patties.
We're too live.
We'll see about that, boyo.
Whoa! You can't cut in line!
So this one will really need to slow things down for it to be, you know, detectable, but when everyone cuts in line during this scene, let's take a look at SpongeBob's pupil as it blinks blue 4 times. Like, look at this. I'm gonna show it in slow motion again. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. That's pretty rough. I don't think SpongeBob's pupil is supposed to be blue. It's supposed to be black, so this was a pretty rough mistake. And here's another one from this episode. This episode has a lot of errors.
I hate to break up story time, but I'd like to not get eaten today.
So this one you really need to be paying close attention to, just like that last one. But after Sandy says, "I'd hate to break up story time, but I'd like to not get eaten today," same Sandy, and everyone starts running towards the sleigh. Let's take a look at our favorite little yellow sponge over here, as the right side of SpongeBob's white shirt is for some reason red for one single frame. Like, I'm zooming in right here and it's red. This is how SpongeBob's pants normally look right here. Here's a shot from like another episode, but in this one scene, it's just red right here, which is totally a mistake. And guys, there's another one in this episode. It's wild. Roll the footage.
You single-handedly saved your vessel from certain doom!
Nope. That didn't work.
Dude, the mistakes in Frozen Face-Off are really, really bad, and this next one is the worst. So, when Mr. Krabs says, "Nope, that didn't work," let's take a look at Mr. Krabs, as there's this weird orange spacing between his eyes for a frame. Like, this is really weird, dude. Like, I'm gonna zoom in right here. Look at this. I'm circling it. This little orange spot should not be here. It should just be the sky behind them, like the background. So, really rough mistake, man. And guys, there's more. Let's head over to another episode with an even worse mistake. Let's do it. Let's go.
Hello?
No!
Sorry, sir, we're closed.
Ahoy there, Krusty Krab! How can I help you? Pizza? Of course we have pizza!
Mr. Krabs, we don't serve pizza. We don't deliver.
We don't deliver, but you do!
First up, we have an episode that any old school SpongeBob fan loves, and that's pizza delivery. I love this episode. This episode's all about Mr. Krabs literally turning a Krabby Patty into pizza, and then SpongeBob and Squidward going on quite the epic adventure to get it delivered. What I'm here to deliver though, what Cartoon Corey is here to deliver though, is this mistake. There's 3 in this episode. Here's the first one.
Antenna. Check. Bumper. Check. Bumper. Sticker. Check.
Back it up.
Okay.
Shift into reverse, SpongeBob.
Reverse. Oh yeah, reverse.
Back it up.
Back it up!
Give me the wheels, SpongeBob. Give me the wheels.
Backing up.
Okay, so the boat that SpongeBob and Squidward use to make the delivery at the beginning of the episode, as you can see right here, it has this nice little bumper sticker, okay? Remember this. It's white and green, and it says, "I brake for sea urchins," all right? Very cute, SpongeBob. Now, the reason I'm pointing this out is at first it's on the boat, as I just showed you guys, but as the scene progresses and SpongeBob and Squidward start driving, we get this back shot of the boat, and where is it? Where'd it go? Where'd the bumper sticker go? At first it was there, so it should be there during this scene. You can tell that the animators drew it here at first for like comedic effect, but then we're feeling a little lazy and didn't draw it during these shots here. And guys, here's another mistake from this episode, and this one's even worse.
How am I supposed to eat this pizza without my drink? Didn't you ever once think of the customer? You call yourself a delivery boy? Well, I ain't buying! Another one? Look, I told your little friend I ain't paying for that!
Well, this one's on the...
Did he change his mind?
He sure did. Ate the whole thing in one bite.
No drink?
No. Now, take me home.
Are you kidding? We have just enough time to make it back to work!
Work.
So for this one, Grapple Gang, I need to give you guys some context. Now, longtime viewers of the channel already know what's coming, but canonically, the Chum Bucket and Krusty Krab have always been shown to be across the street from each other. As you can see in this shot right here, they're directly across from one another, and there's even like a path between the road to both restaurants. Well, at the end of this episode, we get a bit of a swerve, as it's eventually revealed that the customer's house that SpongeBob and Squidward are delivering to turns out to be exactly across the street from the Krusty Krab. It's kinda funny. But this is actually like a total mistake because no, the chum bucket should be directly across the street from the Krusty Krab, as you can see in this clip right here. This is even a different clip to show you. In multiple episodes, it's always been shown that these two restaurants are directly across from one another. So I really don't know how this customer's house is just randomly across the street now. It makes for a funny joke in a cartoon, but in terms of like continuity, it's a mistake. And guys, believe it or not, there's another mistake in this episode. To be fair, it's a season 1 episode, so, but yeah, roll the footage.
Oh, nope, I was wrong. Looks okay. Sure is a fine-looking pizza.
Yeah.
What's that? Is that the cheese?
Yeah.
Oh, looks good, huh?
Wait a second! I know what you're trying to do, Squidward. I'm not letting you eat the pizza!
Give me that pizza!
So this one's more funny, and to be honest, I'm nitpicking, all right? You could tell I'm a hungry boy because I was paying attention to this. It's not that big of a deal, but if you pay attention throughout the episode, there is more, sometimes less, pepperoni on the pizza in different shots. Sometimes it looks like this and has this many pepperonis. Sometimes in this shot, it looks like this and has less pepperonis. Now that's probably going to wrap it up for today's video, guys, but before you click off, a massive shout out to all of you guys watching. Seriously, I'm very appreciative. And an even bigger shout out to the Premiere Gang. Everybody who's here at the premiere, say something in chat. You're a part of the Premiere Gang and I appreciate it. By the way, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe as I'll be responding to the comments of all subscribers on this video. So if you're subscribed and you comment, I'll pretty much respond for sure. It's that simple. Anyways though, I love you guys. Go watch this video again. Go watch it entirely again, guys. It'll really help YouTube share it more. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow with more content. Peace!